What's going on? Welcome to Matt and Matt Live Big Game Edition. I'm DJ Hazmat.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills, and we'll be talking about the big game coming up in a few hours. Also, we got some kudos to give out to a couple of people in the Browns organization, at least one that I can think of right now, and whatever else we happen to come across. But how you been in these past couple of weeks, bro, since the Browns' unfortunate demise a few weeks ago?
I wouldn't call it a demise. I just think, obviously we want to get to a Super Bowl since we've never been there. But I'm proud of how far the Browns went with the rookie head coach. With all of the doubts, with everybody, with all of the hate and all of the uncertainty, that the Browns were able to get some things accomplished this year, and we now seeming like moving forward, we're going to be a competitive team that will be in the conversation. And, we got to get in the conversation before we can get to the dance. You know what I'm saying? So being in the conversation is a plus for me. So I'm over it. I was disappointed that we couldn't finish the job when we knocked Patrick Mahomes out the game and had him wobbling and
Right.
Not able to return and face Chad Henne. And I thought that, the game was right there for us, but we fell short, but we didn't necessarily fall short, if you understand what I'm saying.
Of course, the season was definitely a plus, a positive, right? I mean, we did more than probably what most people anticipated going into that season. So everything that happened, especially you get a playoff win, you beat Pittsburgh twice, including the playoff win. I mean, you can't be mad about anything that the Browns did last season at all. One time, can't forget, drop those comments. We'll definitely read off as many as we can and interact with you guys. Yanni, we see you. A good season to build on indeed. Yeah. Mystery Todd, what up, boys? What up to you,
good,
sir?
What's
yeah,
good?
Man. But Has, just like you said, man, you can't really be upset about anything that went down last season. I will say this, not to nitpick too much, but of course, what you alluded to when you said when Chad Henne came in and we couldn't get the last final turnover or even stop him on that last drive. I think that kind of highlighted the Achilles heel of this team, right? I mean, the defense at the very beginning of the season was just straight atrocious. And then as the season went along, we got into that kind of bend but don't break mode, but we couldn't put the foot down when we needed to against Chad Henne, of all people, to win that game. But it is what it is. We do got congratulations in order, though. Your boy, head coach Kevin Stefanski. Shout out to him. Come on, where the air horn at, man? You ain't got no air horns ready for Kev?
I do have an air horn. Hold on. You know what? I don't have the air horn.
Coach of the year. There you go. Yeah, coach of the year, man.
Hold on. I got to turn it up. I ain't even had a sound ready for you. My bad, dog. I was ill prepared. Coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski.
You already know.
What is it? COTY. They call him the Cody now. Coach of
11-5.
Yes. And a divisional round of the playoffs. Yes, a playoff victory, 11-5. First time out head coaching as a rookie. We could only, the sky is the limit from here.
Right. It really is.
We probably going past that next season, because if he did all that in his first season, what does he have in store?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For his next time out, his next performance. So I'm very pleased with Kevin Stefanski. Yes, sir.
As Kevin Stefanski pertains to Baker Mayfield, because Baker is always one of the first guys you talk about when you talk about the Browns. He's a quarterback. That's his responsibility to get all of this praise and whatever else that comes with it, right? It was, I think, one of the things that, I was probably a pretty notable Baker hater until about halfway through last season. And unfairly, and I'll say in this sense, every year he got a new person he has to answer to, new head coach, new offense he has to learn. This season alone, we forget that a couple of those games in the middle of the season was with absolutely crazy weather conditions, right? Where those games, really no quarterback is really going to go in those games and throw for 350 yards passing, no matter who the wide receivers are. So I feel like I was a little unfair to Baker. He proved to me throughout the course of the season that maybe he can be the guy. And I'm really interested to see how he will look, not only with year 2 of Kevin Stefanski, but another year with my boy Baker or Odell Beckham when he comes back on the field, man. You know how I feel about him. But I think the Browns have nothing but like sky's the limit, like you just said, man.
You do have quite the love affair for Odell Beckham Jr. But and I'm just gonna say, wow. Wow. I mean, I wonder, are there any other Baker haters that could come out here and fall on the sword like you? Because a lot of people that are Baker haters are just standing over there,
Yeah.
like still hating, like the ones that put out that interesting post trying to suggest that maybe we should trade for Deshaun Watson. I know you saw that going around. That made national news because Baker had a reply, just like, y'all Browns are funny. Y'all real funny. You know, I just took y'all to the divisional round of the
He shouldn't have replied today. He shouldn't have replied today.
Maybe he shouldn't have replied. But I think people always take the human element out of sports talk when they talk. And you don't think that these people are human beings, man. You like, I would feel a certain way too if a section of the fan base of the team that I'm playing for is asking for me to be traded. It's like, what a slap in the face for that to even be a story after the year that Baker had. So I understand where he came from. He didn't say nothing too egregious. He just like, y'all funny. Y'all real funny.
I get it. I think that was a non-story, though. I mean, now the sports world is hurting.
A non-story. They was talking about it on every sports channel that was out there.
Right, but what I'm saying is, what at the end of the day, they're going off of who made the post. I mean, why are we just reacting to a certain post? Why are we letting a post reflect the mind state of an entire fan base? Because it didn't reflect my mind state. I do think that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker. I don't think that we should be trading Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson. They're going to command too many pieces, and we don't need a quarterback right now. We have a quarterback. I don't think that what he would provide is going to make us that much better over what Baker can do right now. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Corey Brooks thinks it would be idiotic to trade Baker Mayfield. I express that the idiocy of the conversation even being had. Like, why were we the only team that made national news about our fan base? Because there is a section of the fan base that would be willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then it turned into Deshaun Watson is better than Baker Mayfield. That's not the point. That's not the point. Obviously, if we having a pickup all-star game and you get a chance to pick and nobody has a team,
Watson is going first. Over Baker.
Probably pick Deshaun Watson
for sure
over Baker. But do you remember how the Houston Texans got Deshaun Watson in the first place?
Not particularly. Why don't you remind me?
It was because we traded the pick to them. Remember the season that he got drafted,
right?
The Browns traded that pick, and then Houston Texans drafted Deshaun Watson, and the rest is history. But I'll say this to thinking that you could just drop a Deshaun Watson in on the team and he instantly win. It hadn't happened in Houston, and he's been there for 4 years, and he hasn't gone. He has exactly the same amount of playoff victories as Baker Mayfield. So just to think, because this shiny new toy is over here, you think you could just just like you thought you could just stick Odell Beckham on this team last year, and then that was going to turn us into instant winners. You know what I mean? It's just the team has to gel. They have to buy into what the coach is selling. Everybody has to be on the same page, and you have to have the right pieces in place. Now, yes, the offense is talented. Do I think Deshaun Watson could do something with this offense? Sure, but Baker is. So it's no reason for us, this team, to be having that conversation. You know, let them trade him to Philly. The Carson Wentz wants out. Why don't they do an even swap trade? He wants out of Houston. Carson wants out of Philly. Why don't they trade?
Houston ain't doing an even swap trade for Deshaun Watson, bro. That's why I don't want the Browns to trade for him. Carson Wentz is trash. Let's just point that he's in the position that he's in right now. His own team that drafted him not wanting him because he's not very good. I mean, at least he's not good relative to what he's being paid is what I mean. I mean, he's got one of those contracts that you can't just – it's like a Joe Flacco contract. You can't just give this guy all that money and then he's not that good. So that's what happened.
They were looking at what he had done up until that point. You know, he was playing at a high level the year that they made it to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and Nick Foles had to take over and take him into the Super Bowl. But Carson Wentz was playing well, and they drafted him high. What was he, like the number 2 pick in the draft? So they felt like they were going to lock up their quarterback. And the quarterback market right now is big money. You see what Deshaun Watson just signed for back in September, $111 million he just signed for. I mean, ridiculous money. And he's getting most of that guaranteed. And now he wants out. So it's like, all right.
I agree that when you sign a contract somewhere, you should try your best to fulfill that contract. I don't agree that just because you sign a contract means that you have no wiggle room. We've seen that proven wrong time and time again. Le'Veon, whoever it is, there is wiggle room in the world of sports, especially when you're a superstar. And we can't put all of Watson wanting out of Houston on Watson. Why does he want out of Houston? He signs the money and then he turns around and they get rid of his best wide receiver. And then they fire the guy who made the decision to get rid of his best wide receiver. So
he should have been fired.
Exactly. But if you're Deshaun, you looking around and you saying, look, I'm going into the prime of my athletic, ability. I don't want to be here with no wide receivers doing nothing. And meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes gets Tyreek Hill and our boy Travis Kelce from Cleveland Heights. Speaking of those two, man, I know we can talk Browns all day, but we got to preview the big game. And I'm really interested to know. I have an inkling of who you're going to be rooting for, but I'm really interested to know on who you're pulling for in this game and who you actually think will win this game. And of course, all of our viewers can chime in below, give us their big game scores tonight, so that we can kind of get a feel for what's out there. But what you thinking, Has?
Well, I'm curious to know what you thought I was thinking.
I feel like you're pulling for Tom. I feel like you're pulling for Tom Brady. Yeah.
No, man.
Okay, I'm just asking.
To be honest, man, until these guys get in the Super Bowl, I'm pretty.
You ain't watching tonight.
I'm watching. I'm watching. I'm gonna go, and that's what I wanted to bring up. Like, who's having a big game party? Dr. Fauci said, "Don't do it." Who's having people over for the big game? I mean, I have a friend of mine who just paid about $3,500 for a brand new slick pool table. Invited me over. This is something I think I might want to do. But it's like, what are the rules for the big game in a pandemic? You know what I'm saying? And no, I wasn't pulling for Tom. And I'm kind of like, okay, we got two guys from Cleveland and Travis Kelce and Frank Clark, who went to Glenville, playing for the Chiefs. But that doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? That doesn't satisfy what I want to see happen in the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I mean, to be alive and witness what Tom Brady could do, because Patrick Mahomes is going to be around for a while.
Right.
Tom Brady's only got, he says he want to play till he's 45, but he's 43 now. And if he's able to win another Super Bowl, we'd be witnessing, we would
something
be allowed
crazy
to say we witnessed this type of greatness. So, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have plenty of chance. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll be able to knock them out if we have to face them in the postseason next season. But he's young enough to have opportunities. Tom Brady is at the end of his road, but back in the Super Bowl for the 10th time. So, there's reasons for me to lean both ways. I don't know. I haven't made my pick. Let me check my Twitter poll, because I put up a Twitter poll earlier to see what the people were thinking. And as of right now, it's pretty close. It's like 53% to 47%. 53% Tampa Bay Buccaneers and 47% Kansas City Chiefs. So it's not a wide margin. It's like people are really split on this one. So I'm kind of split too. I'll leave it up to you and the commenters. Tell us who y'all want, and we want to see what y'all think, and maybe I'll come to a decision before this podcast is over.
Well, Yanni said Cleveland Chiefs over Tom Brady Bucks, referencing I think those two Clevelanders that do play for the Chiefs. I gotta say, I love Tom Brady, and I know that a lot of people question whether or not he's a cheater, whatever. No player in any sport in this country has done any of the things that I've seen this guy do. I mean, he just left a team that he won 6 Super Bowl rings with. And in his first season at the new team, he took a 7-9 team to the Super Bowl in 1 year. And in it, he knocked off Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, won 3 straight road games, and now finds himself in the Super Bowl, and is the only quarterback to ever beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So he gets another round to hit against him tonight. I say all that to say that I don't see any chance that Tampa Bay wins this game. The Kansas City Chiefs on offense do things we've never seen the things that they do on offense. I've been watching the NFL for at least 20 years, like every Browns game, as many games as I can every season. I've never seen an offense with a dude like Tyreek Hill. It looks like they're playing out of a college offense. All the pre-snap movement that they do, and then to turn around and find guys wide open wherever they want to throw the ball, whether it's 30, 40, 50 yards down the field or in the flat, wide open to Kelsey across the middle. I don't see how any defense can stop that. I know Tampa Bay does have a good defense. I don't think they can stop Kansas City. And we saw earlier in the season, the Chiefs did win the game by 3, but they jumped out to a big lead in the first half, and Tom Brady closed it down the stretch, but they couldn't ultimately get the victory. I think the Chiefs are going to win this. I think they're going to score about 35 points, and I got Tom Brady maybe scoring 35-31 Chiefs is my prediction tonight.
You may have not have checked the scouting report, knowing that about 2, maybe 3 of their starting offensive linemen won't be there to block for Patrick Mahomes. You might have forgotten a couple weeks ago when a Cleveland Browns team marched up into Kansas City and had them on the ropes. They didn't even score 20.
He scored 19 points in that game, sir. Okay.
They scored what? 22? 20? What did they have?
Their quarterback went out. Like,
exactly.
He's been chilling, drinking mimosas for the last 2 weeks, wherever he's at. Got a brand new fiance, has his feet up. He ain't been doing nothing. That toe is perfect. And the couple of them offensive linemen, that don't worry me. That don't worry me.
Listen, man, they got Jason Pierre, 3 Fingers Paul coming at him. You know what I'm saying? Devin White is out there. He's a wild animal.
He got hurt last game. He's a game time decision last I heard.
Okay, well,
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
That means he's gonna play. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
The Super Bowl. He's probably gonna
make you think he ain't gonna be out there for the Super Bowl. If there's any chance he's gonna get on that field, he's gonna give it a shot. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I'm just saying, man.
And it sounds like you're pulling for Tom Brady. I'm just saying now. I'm gonna just
what I'm saying is, did we? Since you've watched football, like you said, for over 20 years, do you remember Tom Brady led a New England team that had not lost a game for the entire season with Randy Moss as one of their receivers, and they went and lost to the New York Giants? So I'm not about to buy into all this extra hype about the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, Tyreek Hill is fast. Yes, Travis Kelce is good, but any given Sunday, this is kind of making me, and then the fact that that we lost to them where we could have beat them, and this could have been us. So maybe I don't want another AFC team to win unless it's the Browns. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, maybe I could be leaning towards, the GOAT to get his 7th win. I know Tracy agrees with me. She said Brady. And what's up, Tracy Cooper? I see you out there. So I'm just saying, I think, I don't know. I guess if you're going to go with the Chiefs, I'm going with the Buccaneers.
It's only natural, brother. I'm not mad at that at all. It's only natural.
I mean, they talk too much trash about Patrick Mahomes and all this stuff. It was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit because of the game.
He's doing something that we've never seen.
We knocked him out of the game. We've hurt his toe. We slammed him on his head, had him wobbly. We had him against the ropes, and we can blame Joe Woods for not blitzing Chad Henne on a 3rd and 14. I won't blame the entire defense because we held them down. We held them down and knocked Patrick Mahomes from the game. What else can you ask the defense to do when you go against that team? They did everything that they could do.
Get a turnover on downs when you're playing against the backup quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
How about after they get the interception in the end zone, the offense don't come out there and sputter when they had a chance to go and take the lead?
maybe if Odell was on the field, the offense wouldn't have sputtered.
Here we go.
That's all I'm gonna say, man. So we know you alluded to this a little bit ago. Super Bowl parties, man. Super Bowl party. I'm not doing it big today. I'm just chilling with the family. We are going to be in my living room. I think I texted you a couple weeks ago. I got brand new TV. I got some adult beverages. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna kick it back like that, real regular. I will have some wings. I feel like you gotta have some wings when you're watching football, especially a Super Bowl party. But I guess I think I'm plain, man. Like, really, my favorite football food really is literally pizza and wings. But what about you, bro? Like, yeah.
No, I'm cool with the wings, long as they're dry rub wings. The barbecue.
So what's the point of that?
Good because I don't want the mess.
Some buffalo, man.
I don't want to be all messy and the chance that I drip sauce on my clothes and none of that. Give me the lemon pepper wings.
Do you know how to eat a wing? You can eat a wing without making a mess.
Yeah, I bite it and I keep it moving, but I don't have to worry about all of the napkins and wiping my fingers off, because there was these messy wings drenched in some kind of sauce. I'm kind of getting like my son. He don't like sauce of any kind. Now, it's not like
I got one like that too.
It's not like I won't eat the wings, but I just prefer that, I get the dry rub. So, the Cajun or the lemon pepper wings. And plus you gotta have the salsa, man. Them new chips with the lime in them, dipped in the salsa.
No, I love those.
You gotta have that.
No, those are amazing.
Sometimes you go to some people's Super Bowl party and they try to get a little too creative. They have some dishes out there that I ain't never seen before. I go to some people's house who might not be of the same culture as me, and I'm looking at this spread like, what is this? What is this thickly sliced salami on Butterworth crackers or whatever's going on over here?
Oh, they getting fancy.
Yeah, too fancy. It's like let's keep it simple, man. Because you just want to be able to grab something real quick and feed that liquor, feed that alcohol. I
gotta be honest. I don't love Super Bowl parties. I want to watch the game. Like, I used to actually host and have people come over, and it would be a lot, man. A lot of alcohol, whatever, and it would be a lot. And at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, I had no idea what the hell happened in the 4 quarters of the game. So I kind of chilled out the last decade or so, man. I just
if you don't pay attention. I do know this. If I'm at a big game, Super Bowl party, whatever, you tend to miss the commercials. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that's the fact,
because that's a big part of what goes on around the game. Is you got these elaborate commercials that they've come out with that they'll be talking about tomorrow, and the halftime show. What do you think is going to happen? What is the weekend? What do you think he has planned?
My boy, the weekend is going to hold it down. He's going to hold it down. You don't like the weekend? You don't like?
Did I say I didn't like the weekend? I didn't know he was your boy like that. That's all.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like, I love
you might be related to him.
Nah. We'll see after tonight, man. He debuted on a brand new face.
I heard he spent like $9 million of his own money.
$7 million of his own money to make sure that we enjoy tonight's show.
And they don't
I
get
think
paid.
It's gonna be dope. No,
those artists that they got to get some money from somewhere. Pepsi ain't giving them anything.
I don't know how that works. I don't know. Maybe maybe you're right. Maybe the money doesn't come from the NFL. I don't know how you can get up as an artist for that kind of gig.
That's what I'm saying.
And not get a check for it.
All that money for a 10 to 12 minute performance, those is prostitute price. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know nothing about that, big dog. But I do believe
for it to be over quick.
I will say this. I'm a fan of The Weeknd back when he was heavily on drugs, like
he had the Rooster
trilogy, that whole part of his career. So I hope that we get a lot of that. But the whole Starboy and all that stuff that happened in the last 5 years or so, I'm not mad at it. I just really like when he first came out, all that music that came out back then. It's a little dark though. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a whole lot of that tonight, but we'll see. He definitely said though he's bringing no special guests because it was like a blog going around.
He said it would make sense for the story that he's telling.
Yeah, that's why I think it's about to be epic.
I don't know what story he's been telling, man. I just know he's been walking around with bandages on his face, blood in his mouth. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, Weeknd. You know what I'm saying?
Last year's halftime show was absolutely terrible. I didn't like anything about it. Maybe it's just because I'm not a fan. It was a J-Lo and Shakira. I don't remember. I don't even remember. I just remember like,
Yeah,
and when it was
J-Lo,
over,
Shakira.
I
J-Lo
just
and
was like,
Shakira.
that was terrible. That's all I remember, man. I don't know. I don't know. But again,
Really, you're
I'm
more
going to start
excited to see The
indulging here in a minute. So.
Weeknd than J-Lo and Shakira.
I'm more excited to hear The Weeknd perform his music over J-Lo perform her music. I can't name you 3 J-Lo songs, bro. I can't. Maybe if I had a couple minutes, I could think of something. But
man,
maybe it's her on a feature.
I'm real, the way you walk, the way you do. Oh, Ja Rule has a business degree from Harvard.
I saw that.
So let me ask you this. So you're not having a big game party this week, but if you were, and you can invite any celebrity to come and watch the game with you, who would you invite? Who would you like to sit down, a celebrity, and watch the game with?
That's a good question.
And I send that to the people commenting too. If you could have anybody over for your anybody, it doesn't have to be a celebrity or anybody over your crib to watch the game with you, who would you invite?
So I'm a huge hip hop fan, right? And I like the some of the older acts like your Jay-Z's and your Lil Wayne's at this point and stuff like that. Lil Wayne seems like he will be a lot more fun to party with. So I will probably invite Tunchi to the house and then we could turn up and watch the game. I probably wouldn't remember anything. I would say Jay and Beyonce, but they just seem like they're gonna be boring. Like we just gonna really sit back with our feet up and literally watch the game. At least with Tune, I know he could party. So I don't know, probably him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
he's a big football fan as well.
Right now, for me, it would have to be Snoop Dogg, man. It would have to be Snoop. Snoop.
I'm pulling up to that too.
Commentary for the game because Snoop is knowledgeable about the game, so he
big
will be paying attention.
For sure.
It's Snoop Dogg. I mean,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the screen might be cloudy when he leave, but that's gonna enhance your game watching. That's gonna make you get a little bit more insight when Snoop Dogg come through. You know what I'm saying? And his aura is in the air, and you catch some of that aura in the air when Snoop Dogg come through. Oh man, I would love to have Snoop Dogg over for the big game party, man. Because Snoop is that deal right now, man.
No, for sure.
He kind of getting on his Stevie Wonder right now, but with his hairline. But Snoop, that thing's going way back. Like, come on, Snoop. Man.
Me and Wayne would definitely pull up to the Haz and Snoop Super Bowl party as well. Big game party as well.
I said Ty Bree. Ty Bree, really? That's Corey Brooks said he would have rapper Ty Bree from East Cleveland over.
I'm not mad at that.
Because she probably gonna show up with her girls and they gonna twerk while the game. They gonna be wearing something, it's gonna distract you from the game. I don't know if I need that much of a distraction while I'm trying to watch the game. They over there twerking in the corner doing TikTok videos and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So before we get to what is actually next for Matt and Matt Live, because there is something coming up next for Matt and Matt Live. We appreciate everybody rocking with us throughout the football season. I never got you. You're not going to wiggle out of this, bro. I need a game score from you, man. I got 35-31 Chiefs tonight. Who you rocking with?
Well, I guess since you're going with the Chiefs, I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if for them to win, that means they're going to have to hold the Chiefs down. So I'm going to say that the score is going to be something like Buccaneers 31, Chiefs 25.
Okay.
31, and that's an odd score because you might have to get a safety or something like that for that.
Yes.
Because
I don't know if that's hitting on your.
Isn't there something happening if somebody gets a safety, somebody's donating something? I thought I heard that
I'm not sure
somewhere. And then I do know that if Tyrann Mathieu gets an interception, that they're gonna somebody's gonna donate like $100,000 to some charity. You know what I mean? So if he's able to pick Tom Brady off in the game, a charity is going to receive $100,000. So there's a lot of things going on. Do you do any of those prop bets, those side bets?
I haven't put any prop bets in. I will as we get closer to the game time, but I haven't yet.
Coin toss.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff, man.
Will
Vegas
Jasmine Sullivan forget any of the words to the national anthem?
Yeah,
will she do? Will she sing it straight out, or will she do too much?
You
Will
can
she be
bet on the
run?
time
Will
of the
she be
national
doing a
anthem, all
bunch
that.
of runs? Because you know Jasmine Sullivan is a runner. Well, she likes to do that. Hey, you know that with the voice, and she has that ability. But you know, sometimes it's too much for the national anthem. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jasmine Sullivan's take on the national anthem. Nobody's ever going to outdo Whitney, but you know what I mean. It's Jasmine Sullivan's gonna take her crack at it tonight. You know what I mean? You know, a couple years ago they would have shamed her for this.
For singing the national anthem?
Yeah, with all the Colin Kaepernick stuff going on.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is at this point. At this point in our history, man. So
Chiefs fan Tyler says the Chiefs. Ozzy, see how it's so split? It's
yeah,
split. You don't know who everybody is. It's like, let me check my Twitter poll again because I know. Let me get an update on that. Oh, it's still pretty much split there, buddy. 53-47%. Buccaneers though. People
yeah.
going for Tampa Tom playing
You
at
know,
home.
there's a lot of allure and magic when you start thinking about Tom Brady. It's his 10th appearance in the Super Bowl. He's the GOAT, all of that. I get it, but he ain't got Tyreek Hill on his side, and I think that him and Travis Kelce are really ultimately going to be the difference in this
He
game.
has
I don't
Leonard
think.
Fournette on his side.
Yeah,
He
I just
has
named you two guys that aren't
he
guardable
has
though.
Mike Evans on his side.
Yeah, he good. He ain't
Yeah,
Tyreek
but
though.
the Chiefs defense is a little soft up the middle. They start attacking. They start attacking between the tackles, you know. And Leonard Fournette has been a beast in this postseason. Now, let's not sleep on Leonard Fournette's ability. He was a top guy coming out of LSU. Now he may have stumbled along the way and got himself in a little bit of trouble with his attitude problem, and they shipped him on up out of Jacksonville. But he was a highly regarded running back coming out, and they also, come on, man, Chris Godwin. And
The best wide receiver in
Gronk.
football is Tyreek Hill. The best tight end in football is Travis Kelce.
I
The
thought
best
Odell Beckham
quarterback
was the
in
best.
football is Patrick Mahomes. So they have the three best players in the game today. They have the top three. So I just think it's a wrap on that front.
And Brady had Moss in them, and they lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
They
It takes an Eli Manning to beat Tom Brady 10 years ago, but now it's a little
Tom
bit
Brady
different.
gets to beat Patrick Mahomes is Eli Manning. And you know, when the rematch come up, they usually figure it out. You know, they lost to the Chiefs in the regular season, and now they're playing them again. I'm sure they pulled up that game tape and they you know, evaluated their mistakes that they had in that game. I mean, Tyreek Hill went off in that game. He was doing backflips into the end zone.
200 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, but you know, that was
200.
Hey, listen, I don't hate on either one of these teams, but
I know.
for the sake of this show, I gotta pick somebody.
I know.
So
I get it.
So if I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Tom and see if he can go on and get his little you know, his 7th Super Bowl championship ring in 10 tries. And nobody else has even been there that many times, man. Let Tom go out like this, man. I want to witness this history. I want to be able to say, I saw that. I witnessed Tom Brady win his 7th Super Bowl. That would be just, that's an awesome thing to be able to say you were alive for, right? When you wanted to be alive when the Browns went to 10 straight championships.
Yeah, bro. Listen, the last time Tom won it, I said I witnessed history. We did. We witness history every time he takes a snap. So I mean, I've seen enough history from Tom Brady. I think it's time to pass that mantle on down to the young boy and let him go wild with it. So look,
nobody passing nothing to nobody.
I don't know what you've been keeping up with your basketball news, bro, but you know, our future with Matt Live actually starts. Does it start next week? I think maybe I should have asked that off air, but it starts really soon. Until next Sunday
nights at 8:00. You can
8:00.
holler at us. We're going to be talking Cavs now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have looked good and bad. You know, they you know, that trade happened where they brought in Jared Allen and am I pronouncing his first name right? Prince.
Yeah,
they have been some very good additions to this squad. I still think Sexton could calm down a little bit. You know, he has his great moments, and then he also has his oh damn moments. It's like settle down sometimes. You know what I mean? Just you would just hope he would be in a little bit more control and clutch moments because he tends to get a little wild at times. And Garland is proving that he can play in the NBA, but he still kind of looks like a little kid out there to me.
They both look like kids
when
to
I
me.
watch him play. He just seems like he's not a grown man yet. He need to grow up a little bit to be going. He might need to bulk up a little bit as well, you know what I mean, to be going up against these the type of point guard competition that he'll be facing for the remainder of the season. And they just took an L, you know, when they play the good teams. It's not, I mean, they beat the Nets, but are the Nets really that good? You know what I mean? Even though they got James Harden, they haven't really been blowing teams out of the water since he came over. And first up the bat, when they had all three of them, the Cavaliers took care of them two times in 1 week. So we like, oh, the Cavs. And then, you know, they played the Milwaukee Bucks last night and got handled. They played the LA Clippers the other night and got handled. So we just like, okay, who are we? So we're going to see, and we're going to talk about it throughout the remainder of the season.
That's right. Starting next Sunday at 8:00. So when the Cavs do have games, I'm sure we'll be fluid with, you know, exactly what time we come on the air when they have games on Sunday. A couple bright spots though for the Cavs. I mean, we are. I know the last time we talked, we were actually in the playoffs. You know, had they been starting soon, but right now I think we're sitting in like 10th or 11th position. But I mean, Andre Drummond, you know, he's second in the league in rebounds, averaging over 14 rebounds a game. You got Larry Nance Jr., who's second in the league in steals at 1.9 steals per game. Couple of bright spots. I mean, Colin Sexton's improvement in just scoring the basketball, I think he's proving that he can be kind of the centerpiece offensively for your basketball team. When the last couple of years, I really honestly didn't know if that was his game, if he could be that. But he's improved. He's scoring up, I think, over 25 points a game right now. So you can't be mad at what he's doing. But yeah, like Has just said, we'll definitely be breaking down the Cavs and the rest of the NBA because, you know, we want to talk about good basketball too.
We want to talk about
for the rest of the season.
Everything that's going on, man. I mean, you know, the Cavs are playing halfway decent.
Yeah.
You know, and that's better than we expected, you know. So, and I think that trade helped us and it hurt the Nets because they lost defense in that situation, you know.
For sure.
And my son thinks that Jared Allen has cool hair.
Yeah, yeah. The youngins like a lot of hair, man. They like a lot of hair.
They do. He's trying to grow his hair out now. I mean, he used to have wild hair like that when he was, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. But we trimmed it down, and now he wants to get it back. And he's like Jared Allen. I'm looking at Jared Allen like, dude, get some cornrows or braids or something. Good Lord. But as long as he keeps playing like he's playing, I like his play. I do like his play, and I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised as to what Larry Nance Jr. is able to do because I never really expected much from Larry Nance's son. I wasn't necessarily a Larry Nance fan, you know. Wow. He won a dunk contest, but it was like back when the dunks was terrible, you know what I mean? But
well,
Larry
Nance Corey Brooks reminds us that Larry Nance Jr. is out for 4 weeks, so get well soon.
Lord. Where's Kevin Love
coming? Get well soon. Yeah, I saw him do in shoot around the other day. So
what
hopefully,
is he out for 4 weeks for? What is wrong?
I don't know, but they need to trade Kevin Love, and I wouldn't be surprised if Andre Drummond gets traded before the trade deadline either. And we're just not in a position really to be holding on to these big contracts while we're floating around 10th place. It just in my opinion, I think they've been shopping Kevin Love for years, and he makes $40 million a year or whatever stupid number it is. So nobody's gonna take that for a guy who doesn't even play. Y'all be on Odell so much, man. Kevin Love has robbed the city of more money than anybody else, man. Anybody else.
Nobody doesn't want to have Odell Beckham Jr. We're just saying if it messes up team chemistry, you might need to think about that. You never thought about that. You never thought about team chemistry when it came to Odell Beckham. You never did.
I don't think he ruins the team chemistry. His best friend is one of our leaders, in Jarvis Landry. I don't think that he ruins team chemistry at all. I think that it's people like you who nitpick on all of the fake news stories. If there's one thing that Trump gave us is that term fake news. The all of the fake news stories, like when Odell went down to Miami and when he was with the Giants and they was on the boat, that's not a story.
I
If
never
it
said
wasn't
nothing
Odell,
about his outs off the
Well-
field antics. All I noticed that really happened is that once Odell Beckham was out of the game, Baker Mayfield started to play better.
such an
Is
easy
that
and
a
lazy
fact
take,
or
bro.
not? Is it a fact or no?
It's a weighted question, and it's not a fair question to answer if it's fact or fiction, because there were other things that went along with that. There were other factors
Yeah,
that
like
went
I
along
don't
with
need
that.
to force the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. Now I
Well,
can
you don't
settle
need
into
to force
offense.
you don't need to force the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. when he's on the field. That's
Well-
not Odell's fault. That's Baker's fault. And that's
well,
Kevin
if-
Stefanski's fault. Kevin
if
Stefanski
Baker
should get in his
Mayfield-
face and tell him, hey, you got other guys out there that can catch the ball too. Let's get them the ball. You don't have to find number 13 all the time, even though it'll probably work out in your favor.
Hollywood didn't get as much shine as he was.
Hollywood cost us a playoff game. I think we should go. I think we should go. Hollywood Higgins cost us that game. If Odell catches that ball, we win the game. Period. As DJ misses often
Odell
says during
Beckham
the
has
midday
a torn
mixtape.
ACL. He couldn't catch the ball.
All right. Fair enough.
There's nothing he could have done, yo. He couldn't
Fair
have done
enough.
anything. Cheerlead for us, Odell. It was
Oh,
him.
man.
Odell
All right.
cost us the game. If you really want to
All
say
right.
something, when he tried to guarantee a win.
Listen, Mad Live will be back starting Sundays at 8 p.m. for the remainder of the Cavaliers and the NBA season. And we'll be having lots of fights about the Browns, I'm sure, along the way, because really, it's a Browns town. Let's not front.
You see what I'm doing on the
I
big
see.
game Sunday. I'm repping. You know what I mean? Plus, it's cold out, so I needed something.
Check the private chat. Let's get out of here, man. Look at the private chat.
Look at the private chat.
Hey, we appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us every week during the Brown season, throughout the playoff run, the whole nine. We got more fun stuff coming for sure for basketball season and going into the Brown season as well. So we appreciate all the comments, all the views, all of that. Seriously, we appreciate it. And AC and Sam for sticking with us, and Christian when she's here for sticking with us and making sure that we're running right in the background. That's all I got.
That's all we got. So y'all enjoy your big game, however you choose to do that. If you're gonna be just with the fam, or if you're gonna go to a party, just mask up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Best you can.
Maybe everybody check their temperature on the way in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went through COVID, so I'm feeling like, I got some immunities. So I'm supposed to put my mask on and get out there.
Sound like my brother, man.
Like Atlanta. So we will see y'all in the near future, Sunday at 8 p.m. Put it on your calendar, mark it down, because Matt and Matt, we're not going nowhere. We're going to continue to talk these sports. We're going to continue to invite you in to talk with us. All right, so we'll see y'all Sunday night. I'm DJ Hazmat.
I'm Matty Wills. Go Chiefs.
Bucks, baby. Goat time.